Hello Scorpio, Scorpio Rising and Scorpio Moon people. This is your monthly astrological horoscope for May 2017. And a quick reminder for all you Scorpios out there, remember these horoscopes are about the sweeping angles and big shifts that all grow on throughout the month. And, very seldom do any of these last for less than a week. So if you are interested in, more short-term angles or very date-specific angles, I highly recommend checking out your weekly astrology and tarot horoscopes. The first half of them is devoted exclusively to astrology, so even if you only like astrology, there's something there for you. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on with May? Well, May, I honestly feel, is probably one of the easier months we've had in a very long time for you Scorpio people. For everyone, in general, actually. Probably the calmest month we've had so far in 2017. Certainly more so than March and April, because a lot of signs are kind of staying put. I mean, a lot of planets are staying put in the signs that they're in. We don't have any big alterations, suddenly station retrograde. We do have Mercury going direct, which is nice. Everything just seems to be a little bit more about settling the dust. And we have all month Venus in your 6th house of work, reputation, and physical health all month long. And when Venus is in your 6th house, you're going to be noticing you're a lot more popular during this time. But you may also be noticing a better business kind of energy surrounding you. And when we talk about better business, it's not just about things getting busier, but you're attracting the clients and the customers you want to work with. People are, it's easier to do, it's easier to handle. A lot of Scorpio people, a lot of Scorpio rising people have been dealing with some really big issues with, feeling like they're not working in the right field, they're hating the jobs that they're doing, they're hating the clients and the customers they're getting, their schedule's all out of whack. Venus retrograde even made people not respect it, and now we have Venus direct kind of being like, well, guess what, it wasn't you, it really was them and her, Venus retrograde. So we're kind of bringing in or attracting that better crowd, and what's nice about that Venus, in Aries all month, is that we also have you getting a lot more popular. We also have you boosting your popularity in all areas. Your reputation is going to suddenly go through a big improvement if you've been feeling like you've been obscured, passed over, ignored. This is where we have attractions of the good attention. When it comes to, the health side of things, a lot of you Scorpio people may be noticing that your physical appearance is just kind of on its own even starting to improve, whether it's improving hair, improving skin, improving weight. Whatever you're trying to get done is going to start to show its payoffs, but interestingly enough, it's going to happen with less effort, because Venus is all about doing it with less effort, it seems. We also have Mars in Gemini all throughout the month, in your 8th house of shared resources and passive income, which can be a double-edged sword. On the good, let's talk with the good first. Mars, whenever it's in an area, tends to make us work overtime there. For those of you who own your own business, for those of you who are freelance, for those of you who have a passive income, you're going to be noticing a lot of those starting to go on the rise financially. You're also going to be noticing that even, intimately, a lot of you may actually be finding that you are exploring and enjoying a lot more of the carnal for the sake of the carnal with a partner, or even a new partner. But on the flip side, be careful with Mars in the 8th house, because sometimes it can lead us to perhaps not put our money where our mouth is, where we need to, and we might be a bit too trusting. We may be taking out loans that we need to double check. We may be taking too much out on credit. The 8th house can have to do with debts, and sometimes Mars can be a bit of an aggressive shopaholic, so be careful this month not to pile a lot of that on, okay? You're Scorpios, you're prudent, you'll be okay. At least prudent financially. On the 3rd of the month, we've got Mercury turning direct in Aries in your 6th house of work, reputation, and physical health. And with Mercury in the 6th house, you're going to be noticing an easier opportunity to have dialogues with those who matter in areas of money-making and business. If you feel like maybe the last few months people have not been paying attention to the instructions, the boundaries that you put forward, if you've been trying to settle some kind of meeting with a boss or a coworker, if you've been trying to find a way to maybe even boost profits for yourself in the short term, it's all going to start to germinate and pay off, especially as we get into, between the 3rd and the 15th of this month. This is also an excellent time for those of you who have been thinking about trying to find a way to move on to a new department, or maybe even a whole new schedule, a whole new work schedule. Maybe it's not that you want to find a new job, some of you will, but some of you may be instead looking for a way to move into a different spot, whether it's a lateral move internally to a place that maybe pays just as much, if not more, but the schedule's better, the workload's better. It's all about optimizing and improving the place and the space that you have. On the 10th of the month, we've got a full moon in your sign, Scorpio. We like to see this because this is the once-a-year birthday full moon. And this is a clearing moon for you. This is a cleansing moon. This is about releasing something that you don't want to carry with you into the rest of the year, the second half of your solar year. What are we going to get rid of? What are we going to cut and clear from our lives is something to keep in mind between the 10th and the 25th of the month. Are we trying to maybe, again, walk out of a situation or end a situation that is not working for us anymore, quit a bad habit, quit a bad job, move out of a tough neighborhood? Are we trying to maybe get away from, a friendship or a relationship that we know is actually doing more harm than good? This is a cut and clear, but it's by your initiation. So don't be one of those astrology folks who sits back and waits to see what the moon does for you. On the 15th, we've got Mercury moving all the way up into Taurus, into your 7th house of committed partnerships, your closest one-on-one relationships, your best friend, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, BFF, business partner, all that good stuff. And we have the hurrying on of developments here, whether we're playing catch-up or whether we are speeding up developments in this area for yourself, speeding up developments towards maybe some big milestone that you and one of these close people have been trying to get, or reopening the lines of communication if you've been feeling like maybe we've lost touch with how to communicate with a partner, or even with a best friend, or a roommate, or a business partner. If things have been quiet, things have been silent, people have not been opening up, people have not been maybe just able to articulate their feelings in a way that is intelligible, this is going to help fix that. And we have bonding opportunities between the 15th and the 31st of the month. We have ways to reconnect and get closer with these folks. For those of you who are single and lurking, don't be lurking. Those of you who are single and looking, Mercury in the 7th house can be actually kind of broaching the topic of conversation about a partner that we could have among our friendship circle. Something developing closer, or maybe the exploring of a tension that has been building. On the 20th of the month, we've got the Sun moving into Gemini, into your 8th house of shared resources and passive income and self-employment money, and again, intimacy, followed almost immediately on the 25th by a new moon in the same area. And the last 10 days of the month are very, very special, because a lot of this is talking about an extra income avenue that pops up for you. And this is, again, this is completely on the side. Is this, is this something that, we start an online store? Are we kind of brought in to work on a special thing that does pay out better than we could have expected? A new moon and the Sun together in these areas can also indicate, just be careful because of Mars, an approval if we're trying to qualify for a business loan, a mortgage, something where you need to be kind of getting that kind of extra money, or maybe you're trying to apply for a grant or a scholarship. This is where all the good luck is coming in at the end of the month. Any kind of extra financial assistance, or maybe even a financial boost, again, outside what you're used to taking home at the end of the month, is going to be granted to you, because the 8th house is a very interesting house. It kind of makes it all, it's a little wonky. Once you get to houses, 8 and 9, it's kind of like they don't know what they want to be, so it kind of covers all angles of the spectrum there. So that is your horoscope, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.